My name is Alexis Zook Jeffers, and I am the current representative for Nevis 4 St. James Parish in the Nevis Island Assembly. And I have been the representative of St. James for the past 10 years. And over those 10 years, I have demonstrated my love and commitment to the people of St. James. As such, I'm seeking the support of the people of St. James once again to continue the hard work and dedication that I have demonstrated over the past 10 years, and I am willing to put myself up once again to ensure that we continue with the transformation of the constituency of St. James. So vote for Alexis Jeffers. Vote for the Concerned Citizens Movement in these upcoming elections.
My name is Latoya Bianca Jones, and I am the candidate for Nevis 5 St. Thomas Parish in this upcoming local elections. I was born and raised in St. Thomas's Parish. I would have left when I went to university, that's Monroe College in New York, but I've been involved in my community from an early age, so that is where I've been as my foundation, and I still reside in St. Thomas's to this day. Running for office for me, it's about people. I've always wanted to serve and empower the people of St. Thomas's Parish, and by extension, the people of Nevis. We want the best for each other. I think the least is representation, having the proper representation in government to support the community. I think that has been lacking for over 20 plus years. And so that is why I am here, because I know I have what it takes to represent my people with distinction and to do all I can to make life better for them.
My name is Mark Brantley, and I'm the proud leader of the Concerned Citizens Movement. Even more importantly, I am the proud representative of the people of St. John's, Nevis 2. In this upcoming election, we are running on our record. The people of St. John's have been exceedingly kind to me over the years. You have elected me time and time again, and I'm asking you to continue to repose your trust and confidence in me. You know in me you have a leader that you can trust, and in the CCM you have leadership that you can be sure of. We have done remarkably well on the island of Nevis, whether it was the way we handled COVID or the way we have continued to develop this island. We're asking you not to gamble with the future of our island. Continue to stick with us, because in us you have leadership that you can be sure of. You have leadership that you can trust.
I am Spencer Band, the area representative of the constituency of St. Paul's, Charlestown. I am Spencer Band, the area representative of the constituency of St. Paul's, Charlestown. My aim is to ensure the continued growth and development of the constituency of St. Paul's, and certainly by extension, the island of Nevis. We want to continue to ensure that we see our roads, infrastructure development around the constituency. For Charlestown, our only town, we want to ensure that we see an upgrade in our drainage situation in the heart of Charlestown. I am a Nevisian, born, bred and raised, and I think that I am what you see is what you get. You know, I am someone who believes that our greatest asset is our people, and I believe that if we have that harmonious thrust towards developing our people, then I believe that we can achieve great things together.
My name is Alexis Zook Jeffers, and I am the current representative for Nevis 4 St. James Parish in the Nevis Island Assembly. And I have been the representative of St. James for the past 10 years. And over those 10 years, I have demonstrated my love and commitment to the people of St. James. As such, I'm seeking the support of the people of St. James once again to continue the hard work and dedication that I have demonstrated over the past 10 years, and I am willing to put myself up once again to ensure that we continue with the transformation of the constituency of St. James. So vote for Alexis Jeffers. Vote for the Concerned Citizens Movement in these upcoming elections.
My name is Latoya Bianca Jones, and I am the candidate for Nevis 5, St. Thomas Parish in this upcoming local elections. I was born and raised in St. Thomas's Parish. I would have left when I went to university, that's Monroe College in New York, but I've been involved in my community from an early age, so that is where I've been as my foundation, and I still reside in St. Thomas's to this day. Running for office for me, it's about people. I have always wanted to serve and empower the people of St. Thomas's Parish, and by extension, the people of Nevis. We want the best for each other. I think the least is representation, having the proper representation in government to support the community. I think that has been lacking for over 20 plus years. And so that is why I am here, because I know I have what it takes to represent my people with distinction and to do all I can to make life better for them.
My name is Mark Brantley, and I'm the proud leader of the Concerned Citizens Movement. Even more importantly, I am the proud representative of the people of St. John's, Nevis 2. In this upcoming election, we are running on our record. The people of St. John's have been exceedingly kind to me over the years. You have elected me time and time again, and I'm asking you to continue to repose your trust and confidence in me. You know in me you have a leader that you can trust, and in the CCM you have leadership that you can be sure of. We have done remarkably well on the island of Nevis, whether it was the way we handled COVID or the way we have continued to develop this island. We're asking you not to gamble with the future of our island. Continue to stick with us, because in us you have leadership that you can be sure of. You have leadership that you can trust.
I am Spencer Band, the area representative of the constituency of St. Paul's, Charlestown. My aim is to ensure the continued growth and development of the constituency of St. Paul's, and certainly by extension, the island of Nevis. We want to continue to ensure that we see our roads, infrastructure development around the constituency. For Charlestown, our only town, we want to ensure that we see an upgrade in our drainage situation in the heart of Charlestown. I am a Nevisian, born, bred and raised, and I think that I am what you see is what you get. You know, I am someone who believes that our greatest asset is our people, and I believe that if we have that harmonious thrust towards developing our people, then I believe that we can achieve great things together.
My name is Alexis Zook Jeffers, and I am the current representative for Nevis 4 St. James Parish in the Nevis Island Assembly. And I have been the representative of St. James for the past 10 years. And over those 10 years, I have demonstrated my love and commitment to the people of St. James. As such, I'm seeking the support of the people of St. James once again to continue the hard work and dedication that I have demonstrated over the past 10 years, and I am willing to put myself up once again to ensure that we continue with the transformation of the constituency of St. James. So vote for Alexis Jeffers. Vote for the Concerned Citizens Movement in these upcoming elections.
My name is Latoya Bianca Jones, and I am the candidate for Nevis 5 St. Thomas Parish in this upcoming local elections. I was born and raised in St. Thomas's Parish. I would have left when I went to university, that's Monroe College in New York, but I've been involved in my community from an early age, so that is where I've been as my foundation, and I still reside in St. Thomas's to this day. Running for office for me, it's about people. I have always wanted to serve and empower the people of St. Thomas's Parish, and by extension, the people of Nevis. We want the best for each other. I think the least is representation, having the proper representation in government to support the community. I think that has been lacking for over 20 plus years. And so that is why I am here, because I know I have what it takes to represent my people with distinction and to do all I can to make life better for them.
My name is Mark Brantley, and I'm the proud leader of the Concerned Citizens Movement. Even more importantly, I am the proud representative of the people of St. John's, Nevis 2. In this upcoming election, we are running on our record. The people of St. John's have been exceedingly kind to me over the years. You have elected me time and time again, and I'm asking you to continue to repose your trust and confidence in me. You know in me you have a leader that you can trust, and in the CCM, you have leadership that you can be sure of. We have done remarkably well on the island of Nevis, whether it was the way we handled COVID or the way we have continued to develop this island. We're asking you not to gamble with the future of our island. Continue to stick with us, because in us, you have leadership that you can be sure of. You have leadership that you can trust.
Yes, yes, yes.
Jamming with the big blue machine. We rolling with the big blue machine.
CCM, tell them we gone clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we gone clear. Show me your body finger, show me your body finger, show me your body finger. Put them up, show me your body finger, show me your body finger, show me your body finger. Put them up in the air. CCM, tell them we gone clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we gone clear. Show me your body finger, your body finger, show me your body finger. Say put them up in the air. Show me your body finger, your body finger, show me your body finger. Put them up.
I see next side, are you the try and lose? I see next side, are you the try and lose? I see next side, are you the try and lose? I see next side, are you the try and lose? We rolling with the big blue machine. Sticking with the big.
Yes, good night, Rawlins. How you feeling tonight? The Concerned Citizens Movement is in its home here in Rawlins tonight. You know, we always feel good when we are in friendly territory. And we know that Rawlins is indeed CCM country. And so we are very, very happy to be here tonight. The system is sounding good also. Want to big up our sound engineers. Want to big up our television people, our live stream people. We are streaming live on YouTube, live on Facebook. You can go to YouTube and go to our CCM Nevis page. Or if you are on Facebook, go to our CCM Facebook page and share the live. Invite all your friends and family and tell them that the Concerned Citizens Movement is live tonight in Rawlins. Come and listen to the good news of the Concerned Citizens Party. We all know that CCM over the years has been the only party in Nevis that stands up for the people of Nevis. And we want the people of Nevis to stand with us also. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to start it off right here in the Concerned Citizens Movement. So whenever we do these meetings, we start off with a word of prayer. So wherever you are, could you kindly reverence yourselves as we go to the Lord in prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. We come to you this evening as we start our meeting here in Rawlins Village. Dear Lord, give those who are on their way, traveling mercy. Help them to get here to us safely. Those who are in their homes, wherever they are, be with them, dear Lord. Give us clarity of thought, dear Lord, and bind us together as a people. These mercies we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy to be here with you tonight in Rawlins. And as it is election time in Nevis, once again, the Concerned Citizens Movement is coming to you. You know, somebody told me that in Nevis we have a lot of elections. But that's okay. We just came out of the federal elections, and now we are having elections for the Nevis Island administration. But I want all of you, the people, to know that the exercise of elections is very important. We are a democracy, and this is how the people get to participate in government, by making a choice of who you, the people of Nevis, want to be your representatives and your government. You know, we believe that we are the best party for the people of Nevis. And come the 12th of December, we want all of Nevis, we want all of Gingerland, and we want all of Rawlins to go out in your numbers to vote for the Concerned Citizens Movement. You know, the CCM party, we weren't the first party in Nevis. But from the time CCM has been on the scene, we have been the party of choice for the people of Nevis. We have not been around the longest. No, we have not. But we have been the best party. The CCM party, as you know, was led for many, many years by the Honorable Vance Emery of blessed memory, from right here in Rawlins, a Rawlins man. And you know, Vance Emery led with distinction. Vance Emery has led Nevis with distinction, and that is something that the people of Gingerland and the people of Rawlins can be proud of. And you know, there are some persons who might want to say otherwise, but I will not respond to them. I will do what the good Premier says and ignore the noise. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful meeting for you tonight, and you will hear our speakers come on the platform, and they will tell you about all of the good things that your CCM party has been doing in government. This election, we have two main parties that are contesting the elections. The NRP, we heard them launch their candidates whenever they launched them. A long time ago, well, not so long ago, a couple of years ago, the NRP went all around the length and breadth of Nevis, and they said that the same people who run in the federal should not run in the local. That is what they used to say before. What? They used to talk all kind of things about double salary. But we notice in recent times, it has not suited their purpose to say those things. And so what? They have stopped. When last any of you hear NRP talk about same person running into elections? When last any of you hear them talk about double salary? We're not hearing anything about that. And when it comes to Gingerland, the NRP has never paid any mind to Gingerland. They haven't given Gingerland much thought. When you think about it, you have all kind of people walking around and saying that they are big NRP. But when the time came for the NRP to find a candidate to bring to the people of Gingerland, not one of them stepped forward. Somebody had to kinny cat from all the way over in Barnesgut to come over here to Gingerland to say they want to run to represent Gingerland people. Don't know a thing about Gingerland. Somebody got to be showing them around because they don't know where they are. And that is such a shame. That is such a shame. I remember as a youngster, I used to be at the Gingerland Primary, now the Joycelyn Libert Primary. And we used to be all over the place in Gingerland. We walk all the bushway to Zion, all the bush we come up here to Rawlins. Sometimes we don't walk the main road because we knew all of the roads. And they couldn't find one person who know anything about Gingerland to bring here to Gingerland. All the way over to Barnes that they went to find somebody. And you know what happened? The person was so eager to run anywhere. They didn't care where. Once they had an opportunity to run, they run coming. Because NRP was not their first choice. As a matter of fact, they were trying hard to become a CCM candidate. That didn't work out so well. And when that did not work out, they wanted to start their own party. They done had color and all. But, you know, I don't want to talk so much about those things. But at the end of the day, they landed with NRP because NRP could not do any better. You understand? And that is what they want to bring to the people of Gingerland. And I believe that the people of Gingerland should feel insulted by that. And you should show your disdain on December 12th when you go out to the poll to vote overwhelmingly for a Gingerland man in Eric Evelyn. You see, the Concerned Citizens Movement, we are bringing to you a team of 5 when we start in number 1 in Charlestown. We are bringing to you Spencer Brand, a well-known commodity. In fact, he is the only brand in town. You understand? A man with a proven track record of success. That's who we are bringing to you in Charlestown. In number 2, the Concerned Citizens Movement, we are bringing to you the Honorable Mark Brantley, and everybody knows the track record of Mark Brantley. Everybody knows that Mark Brantley is a man who has stood up time and time again for the people of Nevis and has delivered time and time again for the people of Nevis. I'm going to skip over 3 and come back. Let's go to number 4. Over in number 4, the Concerned Citizens Movement, we are bringing to you the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, a hard-working minister. Everywhere you go, people say, is the hardest working minister. That's what people say. We got a lot of ministers that work hard, but people say Alexis is the hardest working. Why they say that? Because they see him on the ground, moving all around, and the people of St. James have stood with him. And over number 5, we have the new person on the block, a young lady of class and dignity, an intelligent young lady in Latoya Bianca Jones. And you know what? You know what? Even before our candidate was launched in St. Thomas's, she already had them running scared over there. They used to walk around in the past and they used to say, oh, we're not worried about St. Thomas's. St. Thomas's is a safe seat. What? But you don't hear them saying that anymore. Now they're saying they're defending St. Thomas's at all costs. And right up here, right here, in Gingerland, in number 3, the Concerned Citizens Movement is bringing to you a son of number 3. Somebody who has been with you in Gingerland over the years. All of you know him. All of you know him. And in government, he has been working hard, working diligently on behalf of the people of Nevis, but in particular, the people of Gingerland. We are bringing to you Eric Evelyn, and we are asking you to put your support where you have always.
There's only one choice, we vote for CCM.
You see, as the song says, this election is easy. There is only one choice in this election, and that's the 5 candidates of the Concerned Citizens Movement. You see, when the elections are all said and done, we want to have an increased mandate. We have 4 seats out of 5 seats now. You know what we want you to do for us, Nevis? In these elections, give us 5 out of 5. When we all sit around the table to discuss Nevis, we have persons representing all 5 constituencies on the island of Nevis sitting around that table giving representation for their constituency. That is what we want. You know, ladies and gentlemen, to do anything different, is a step in the wrong direction. And Nevis people are forward-thinking people. We are not backward people. So let us continue, ladies and gentlemen, to move forward with the Concerned Citizens Movement. The CCM is the only way forward for the people of Nevis.
On election day, we gonna hammer them. It's only one choice, we vote for CCM. On election day, we gonna bang them. It's only one choice, we vote for CCM.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, now that I've warmed up the mic, we want to get into our meeting and we want to call our first speaker for tonight. And we're starting in number 1. And in number 1, you know that there is only one. There is only one brand in town. There is only one choice in number 1. So ladies and gentlemen,
my aim is to ensure the continued growth and development of the constituency of St. Paul's and certainly by extension the island of Nevis. We want to continue to ensure that we see our roads, infrastructure development around the constituency. For Charlestown, our only town, we want to ensure that we see an upgrade in our drainage situation in the heart of Charlestown. I am a Nevisian, born, bred and raised, and I think that I am what you see is what you get. You know, I am someone who believes that our greatest asset is our people, and I believe that if we have that harmonious thrust towards developing our people, then I believe that we can achieve great things together.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, Rawlins. Good evening, how are you? My good friend tell me they need $100 on the bar. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to Rawlins. It's good to be in Rawlins. I want to say a very pleasant good evening to all those who are viewing our meeting here in Rawlins tonight. To all those who are listening via the various platforms, I want to say a very pleasant good evening to you tonight. To those of you who are listening to us in lands afar, I want to say to you how good it is to be here in the heart of Rawlins tonight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to Rawlins to have this meeting, to say to you and to appeal to you, I believe what you know you are accustomed to do when it comes to election here on the island of Nevis. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we have come to Rawlins to say to you, in a very short sentence, as usual. Because here in Rawlins, ladies and gentlemen, Rawlins have been the bedrock of the CCM party on the island of Nevis. You have been good to CCM and CCM have been good to you. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we are in a place that we feel have rallied with CCM from since the Concerned Citizens Movement Party's inception until now, all of these years, and we are indeed thankful and grateful. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to lend our support to the CCM candidate here in Gingerland. He does not need much introduction because he is one of you and you know him well. I believe oftentimes the other side is trying to define the Concerned Citizens Movement Party's candidates. But I believe that they are wasting their time because you know them and they know you. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to support the Honorable Eric Evelyn in Gingerland. The only choice for Gingerland in this election. The best choice for Gingerland in this election. The choice that you can rely on and depend on in Gingerland. A man who have been amongst you. A man who have rallied with you and you have rallied with. In the person of the Honorable Eric Evelyn, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to say to you tonight that while the other side continue to try and mislead the people of Nevis by saying that nothing has happened in Nevis, I want to share with you just a few things that would have happened in Gingerland under the oversight of Eric and the Concerned Citizens Movement Party since 2017. They have said that nothing has happened. But at the Gingerland Secondary School, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen phase 1 of our TVET program, the construction of the TVET building there at the Gingerland Secondary School. And that building, ladies and gentlemen, will allow men and women right here in Rawlins to be certified in their various trades and their various skill sets. Because we are all about empowering our people. But the other side are saying to you that nothing has happened. I am here to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, a simple thing as removing piece of chicken stone to make that area a lot more safer. You know that in that area we have had a number of accidents because motorists was not seen around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, and we went in and we remedied that under the stewardship and under the watchful eye of the Honorable Eric Evelyn. But they said nothing has happened. What? We have gone to Central, ladies and gentlemen, and you know that the bridge there at Central was in a dilapidated state. And if anything were to touch that bridge, ladies and gentlemen, that bridge would have toppled over in the gut. We went in and we made that bridge much more safe for ladies and gentlemen. But nothing has happened. The agriculture expansion, ladies and gentlemen, in Gingerland, right here by Mackey, the expansion in agriculture. And I know when you talk about agriculture, Eric is like a kid in a candy store. He is like a kid in a candy store. He would have been excited with all that has been happening, and we have seen the transformation in agriculture in Gingerland, ladies and gentlemen. But nothing has happened, according to them. Right down the road there, we have seen the construction of the interpretation center here in Hard Times, ladies and gentlemen. But according to them, nothing has happened. What? I want to say to the people of Gingerland, on the 12th of December, you have a simple choice to make. But I want to say to you as well here in Gingerland, all of you here in Gingerland have influence throughout the length and breadth of the island of Nevis. And we are saying to you to use your influence to persuade and to convince the rest of Nevis to support your CCM candidate in this election, ladies and gentlemen. I am not certain as to why some people are still sitting on the fence as to whether they are going to vote one or who they are going to vote for. I am saying to you that your CCM party from since 2017 have had a proven track record, ladies and gentlemen, and there ought to be only one choice in this election of December the 12th. We are bringing to you 5 candidates in this election. Right here in Gingerland, we have the Honorable Eric Evelyn as your candidate. In Nevis number 4, we are bringing to you the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. In Nevis number 3, we are bringing to you our Premier, the Honorable Mark Brantley. In Nevis number 5, we are bringing to you the young Latoya Jones as the candidate in St. Thomas's. And in Nevis number 1, ladies and gentlemen, there will be only one band in town, ladies and gentlemen. You see who's singing that song there? One of Gingerland's premier soca artists. Huh? Play the line there again, Mr. DJ. Play the line again. Are you listening to Delly Ranks, man? Listen to Delly Ranks as CCM revoting. You understand me? It's only CCM who you should be voting for on the 12th of December, 2022. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you tonight, as I keep saying throughout this entire campaign, that this election ought not to be a difficult election to decide upon. Your CCM party for the last 5 years have had to deal with a global pandemic that no other government in the history of Nevis have had to deal with. And under your CCM government during the COVID pandemic, we made sure that every single civil servant on the island of Nevis was paid in full and was paid on time. I keep saying it, ladies and gentlemen, that there are larger countries than the island of Nevis that are well off, much better off financially than the island of Nevis. Up to today, are still struggling to pay their civil servants what is due to them. What? But the island of Nevis gave a commitment to our civil servants that they must be paid in full and on time. When we met in those initial cabinet meetings, ladies and gentlemen, and most of them was online, Zoom, we ensured and we took a position that civil servants in this country must be taken care of. You know why? I want you to think about this. Because there were many laid off in the private sector. 4 Seasons was closed. A lot of businesses in the hotel sector was closed. A lot of small businesses was closed. And if you were to consider those businesses closed, and if government were in turn to lay off civil servants, then you could have think about the catastrophe that we would have had on the island of Nevis when both breadwinners were out. So that is why your CCM party took that position to make sure that civil servants were taken care of, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm saying to you, I am saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, here in Rawlins, your CCM party, your CCM government stood with you during the darkest days in that global pandemic. And look what happened. Look what happened. The Premier would have reached out to the Nevis Reformation Party, asking them to stand with CCM and to stand with the people of Nevis and support the cause to encourage people to take the vaccine and to make sure that they were protected. And the Nevis Reformation Party said, no, not them. The Nevis Reformation Party said to CCM and said to the people of Nevis, no, not them.
What?
But now they are coming to you and asking you to give you their support. I want to say to the people of Nevis, I want to say to the people of Rawlins, do not take on the Nevis Reformation Party in this election, because when they were called upon to stand with you, when they were called upon to rub shoulder with CCM and the people of Nevis, they turned their backs on the people of Nevis, ladies and gentlemen. I am saying to you, you would see the track record of CCM. CCM has always been the party that has championed the cause of the island of Nevis, in government and out of government. You would know the record of the Concerned Citizens Movement Party in their fight for justice when it comes to voting rights in this country. It was the same NRP who took off hundreds of persons' names in this country. And it was the Concerned Citizens Movement Party, ladies and gentlemen, that went to court and defend your rights to vote. And lo and behold, recently, they said that they went to Charlestown to vote against electoral irregularities. And I said to myself, some people think that the people of Nevis have forget their recent past. They have taken off hundreds of voters in this country. They have sought to disenfranchise many divisions in this country. And now they are coming back to you and asking you to give them your vote. The same vote that they sought to take away from you. And I'm here to say to you, tell them no. Because it was the CCM who stood up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to Rawlins. We have come to Gingerland. We have come to a place that has always supported the Concerned Citizens Movement Party. We have come to a place, ladies and gentlemen, that have provided for the island of Nevis many great sons and daughters. We have come to the place, ladies and gentlemen, where our immediate past Premier, the late Vance Winkworth Amry, would have rallied this island of Nevis to greater heights. And we are here again tonight to ask you to continue to champion that cause for the island of Nevis. Tonight, and over the next few days, I want to appeal to you to spread the word and to spread the message that the Concerned Citizens Movement Party is the best political organization for the island of Nevis and for the people of Nevis.
On election day, we gonna hammer them. It's only one choice, we vote for CCM.
So ladies and gentlemen, I want to appeal to you once again. In Nevis number 5, we are bringing to you Miss Latoya Jones. And I want to say to St. Thomas's, come home to CCM. Come home to CCM. I am hearing the representative of St. Thomas's saying that they would defend St. Thomas's at all costs. And they are going to get what? Militant. And what is that saying to us? That is saying to us that they recognize that St. Thomas's is slipping away from their fingertips, ladies and gentlemen. So on election day, go out in your numbers in St. Thomas's and vote overwhelmingly for Miss Latoya Jones. In Nevis number 4, we are bringing to you the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. And my message to St. James's is to stick with Alexis. To stick with Alexis. You have rallied with CCM in St. James's for many years. And we are asking you to continue to stick with Alexis and to stick with St. James's. In Gingerland, where we are tonight, we are bringing to you the Mayor of Gingerland, the Honorable Eric Evelyn. And you must know that Eric is one of you. So on election day, give your support to the Honorable Eric Evelyn here in Gingerland. In Nevis number 2, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing to you the Premier of this country, the Honorable Mark Brantley.
I see next side, are you the try and lose? I see next side, are you the try and lose?
Pound for pound, they can't match him. Pound for pound, they cannot match him. So I'm saying to St. John's to stick with the Honorable Mark Brantley, ladies and gentlemen. In number 1, we are bringing to you, yours truly, the Honorable Spencer Brand. And I am simply saying to the people of St. Paul's, no matter what they say, no matter what they try, there will be one brand in Charlestown. Because I'm saying to Charlestown, you have a representative that is working for you. You have a representative that have your best interests at heart. You have a representative, ladies and gentlemen, that have a vision for the constituency and for the island of Nevis in the person of yours truly, Spencer Brand. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we are making the case here in Gingerland for your Concerned Citizens Movement Party. I am saying to you that on the 12th of December, give your overwhelming vote and support to all 5 of your Concerned Citizens Movement Party. And rest assured that you will have a government that will have your best interests at heart for the development of the island of Nevis. Thank you, good night, and God bless.
Speaking with we CCM party, to fight for Green City. We speaking with we CCM party, to remove Timothy. To get we SIDF money. We sticking with CCM. We're going to battle with the century. We sticking with CCM.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're sticking with CCM. The only way forward for Nevis. And remember, in Nevis, we are forward-thinking people. There's no looking back. That other party, they're in the rearview mirror. We're not looking back at them. We're not turning around to go backwards. We are looking for progress in Nevis. And the only party that is working for the progress of Nevis and Nevis people is the Concerned Citizens Movement. And so we're sticking with our CCM party here in Nevis. You know, ladies and gentlemen, so many things have happened here in Nevis. You know, we're passing here on this lovely road in front of us. This was done under CCM. Recently enough, I'm sure people forget. People get so accustomed to it. You know, just down the road, we have the brand new TVET Center. And that TVET Center, when it's operationalized fully, it's going to mean a big difference for our tradesmen and women here at Nevis. It means that you can not only do the work, do the masonry, the carpentry, the electrician, the plumber, if you're a hairdresser, if you're a nails tech, whatever trade you have, you will be able to go there and get certified. Our young people who are school-aged, who are more technically inclined, they can be put on a pathway that we call the CVQ and the NVQ pathway. That means when they are finished with school, that they're going to have a certification that says they are competent in doing a certain type of work. They would be able to go out in the field and become a plumber, work as an apprentice for maybe 1 or 2 years until you get a good feel for the actual field work. But you will have that certification. And you know, if ever they decide that they want to leave the island of Nevis to go anywhere in the world to work, they don't have to just go out there and say, well, my skill is this or my skill is that. They can show the paper. And when they show that paper, they can command top dollar. These are some of the things that your CCM party is doing. And these things are happening right here in Gingerland. You know, we remember the JLPS down there. That's the school that I went to. So I know. You remember for many, many years, the roof. You used to see a lot of rust and the galvanized. Well, we changed that entire roof just a couple of years ago. Just a few years ago. These are some of the things that we have been doing as a government here in Gingerland. Working for you and working for your children. And we know that our children are the future. And everything we do today affects them and affects their future. So we want to make sure this is something that Alexis Jeffers says almost every time he comes on the platform, and he says it with a lot of conviction, that whenever we leave the political stage or the political arena, we want to leave Nevis in a better position than we met it. That's what CCM is all about, you know. Working for you, the people. And ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, Alexis Jeffers, I want to move on to our next speaker. And it just so happens that the next speaker who is coming to address you is none other than the Deputy Premier and the Deputy Leader of the Concerned Citizens Movement, the hard-working...
I am the current representative for Nevis 4, St. James Parish in the Nevis Island Assembly. And I have been the representative of St. James for the past 10 years. And over those 10 years, I have demonstrated my love and commitment to the people of St. James. As such, I'm seeking the support of the people of St. James once again to continue the hard work and dedication that I have demonstrated over the past 10 years, and I am willing to put myself up once again to ensure that we continue with the transformation of the constituency of St. James. So vote for Alexis Jeffers. Vote for the Concerned Citizens Movement in these upcoming elections.
Right to the people of Rawlins. It's good to be up in Rawlins Mountain. That's what they call up here, Rawlins Mountain. But it's good to be here, and this is one of many times that I have come over many elections. But it always feels good. And you know what? I prepared tonight. Put on my jacket, put on my hat, because, you know, Rawlins can get very cold, you know. And since I don't have the formula to turn up here warm, because I think last night I heard the leader of the NRP say Rohan would find a way to keep Rawlins warm. I don't know how they get that say and how they're going to get it do.
What?
Perhaps we're going to put a few heaters up on Navy Speak and they're going to blow some hot air down here, because I never hear my rubbish. But anyway, people of Rawlins, people of Gingerland, I believe we have been heard all the way over in Zion Village, down in Fottergills, and come all the way back over to Clegot. The whole of Gingerland is being covered tonight. And it's good to be in Eric country. And I want to thank the people of Gingerland, and this thank you is not to say we are done with you and
We're moving on. I'm thanking you for what you've done in the past, and that is to ensure that CCM is victorious up here in all of the elections that we've had in the past. And this time around, I'm asking the people of Rawlins, the people of Gingerland, to repose your confidence in Eric Evelyn and the Concerned Citizens Movement. We're here to support Eric tonight, but I'll speak about him a bit later. But indeed, Eric is the man for Gingerland. And he said he's the mayor of Gingerland. I haven't given myself a name for St. James. But he has earned that name because he has been with you and among you for all of his life. And I want to commend him for his community spirit and all that he has done to transform lives here in Gingerland. But I'll touch Eric a bit later. But let me say tonight, we are in the middle of a campaign. This is a campaign to elect a government to govern the affairs of Nevis for the next 5 years. The Premier of Nevis would have dissolved Parliament and he would have said that nomination day is the 5th of December. That is this Monday. Monday coming. He also said that election day is the 12th of December. That is Victory Day for the CCM party. That is the day when the people of Nevis will vote for the CCM party and ensure that the development of this island continues under good leadership, good governance, and a good party. So I am looking forward to those particular days to come, the 5th and then the 12th of December. But before we go there, we have to campaign. We have to bring the message to you, bring the issues to you. And I want to say to you that the CCM party over the last 5 years have demonstrated that it is the best party for the island of Nevis. We are the best party. So this election is like the best coming up against the rest. The NRP has come. And I believe they were here last night. They were here last night and they would have come and made some noise up here, I'm sure. But I want to say to you that the CCM party in government have demonstrated that it is a decent party and the NRP cannot match up to the CCM. Let me say to the people of Rawlins, this very road that we are standing on here and looking at, over the years, because the NRP wanted to embarrass the late Van Samry, they didn't do anything up here. What? So they left the road, and you know what? Every time they were on this radio station, they call it Choice. It's no longer in business. But on Thursday night, they used to make a mockery of the road. And God bless the Hannah's soul, Hannah Allen that is. Because they say when you drive across by Hannah, you could stretch out your hand and touch the two sides of the road. That's what they used to say. Brother man, officer, please come and help me. So, on a Thursday night, they would say, this road is so narrow that you could touch either side when you stretch your arms out. The CCM came, and what a marvelous road construction job they would have done. Widen the road, gave Rawlins an improved infrastructure, and make sure when the motorists cross this area, they drive on a nice, smooth road going through Rawlins. Left to the NRP, it would have never been done. And I say that with no contradiction whatsoever. Nobody can contradict me. I go down to the Joycelyn Library Primary School. A school mills kitchen was built there under the CCM. The last school, primary school that is here on the island of Nevis to receive such building. And you know what? The NRP made a mockery of that as well too. But we came back into government in 2013. We built it. And you know why it was built? You have to understand the thinking behind that construction and the idea behind building that Joycelyn Library School Mills kitchen. Every other primary school had one at that point in time. But you know what? The Honorable Samray of blessed memory was the representative of Gingerland at the time. He was in opposition and they decided whatever they have to do to ensure the people of Gingerland suffers. So they never built any. We came back into government and we built it, a wonderful building, offering services to our young children there at Joycelyn Libert Primary. So what has happened now? Parents are now comforted by the thought that they can send the children to school to get a nourishing meal. And that is how a forward-thinking government should behave in government or perform in government. Even down at Zion, that play field was done under the CCM. If it was left to the NRP, it would have never been done. Because you know what? They had no love for Gingerland. None. What? None whatsoever. Go down to Hanley's Road. All those roads were done. Left to the NRP, they would have never done any of those things. But that's not how you operate as a government. We came and we did the right thing. Now, under the leadership of the Honorable Eric Evelyn, he have done a marvelous work in ensuring that social programs are brought here to Gingerland. Down there at the David Freeman Center of Excellence, Eric came to cabinet and he said that was a commitment made by the Honorable Vance Amray. He came and he made sure that that particular project was executed. And it's there. A wonderful center because it offers various services, cultural events. As a matter of fact, when Eric come, he'll tell you that it was the first time the culture was brought out of Charlestown. That is, it was in the year 2020, I believe it was, when we were being affected by COVID-19. So he had Culturama down there. And that is also an excellent way to think. Because if it can't happen in Charlestown, it can happen in Gingerland. If it can't happen in Gingerland, of course it can happen in St. James. If it can't happen in St. James, it can happen in St. Thomas Parish. So we have to always prepare all constituencies for all realities. I want to say to the people of Nevis, the people who are listening overseas, that CCM have proven that when it comes to infrastructural development, we have done infrastructural development across the landscape of Nevis. And indeed, no constituency have been left behind. None whatsoever. So they came up to Gingerland, they came up to Rawlins. And listen, I have said from time to time that the NRP can't be serious about this politics, this campaign, or serious about government here or governance here in the island of Nevis. I'll tell you why. I heard the leader of NRP stand here or stood here last night and said that one of the things that she'll bring to Gingerland is a ferry terminal down at Indian Castle. What? A ferry terminal down at Indian Castle. I tell you, they can't be serious. What? That remind me of some years and years ago, when Euro Swanston said to the people of Rawlins, I'm bringing a deep water harbor up here. So you see, when they try to fool people, mislead people, they say a lot of foolishness. Imagine down there at Indian Castle, the Atlantic side, the southeast of the island, Lord, water down there rough and a calm day. I said they're going to build a ferry terminal down there. That makes sense? But I've said to the lady from time to time, when she first got into politics, I said, Janice, you are a minute too late and a dime too short. You have more behind you than what is in front of you. You're late for politics. This is not your landscape or your field to be in. And she ain't listening. She ain't listening, and that is why the people of St. James have a rude awakening waiting for her come the 12th of December, right over there in St. James. In an overwhelming fashion, the people of St. James will say to Janice, go home, and go home for good. Hammer time over in St. James, man. I tell you, we don't like rubbish over there, you know. We don't like rubbish because when you want to lead, you must come with substance, man. You must come with substance. No prescription for development, nothing at all. Call ideas to move Nevis forward. And I want to say, I don't want to spend much time on her, because I believe in the people of St. James. The people of St. James have been rallying with the great CCM party for the last, well, I would say from 1992 until now. There's no need to change. No need to change because we have brought development there. And I won't spend time on St. James because when I get to St. James again, we were there last Saturday night over at Newcastle and we laid out all that we have done and we'll get a chance to say more over there. But I want to say to you here in Gingerland that Eric is your man. Eric has come and he went down to Zion Playfield and he lighted up the other day, Look nice. I saw some pictures of people down there playing cricket. They were running around. Recreational activities were taking place in the night. And that is what we want to foster throughout the island of Nevis, where recreation can take place when you're done working in the day. You come home in the evening and you want to bust a sweat, as they say. That is why we have to commend Eric. He came to the cabinet and said he's going to light up Zion Playfield, and he has done so. He said he was going to bring housing, roads, and social programs, as I said before. Eric has shown me over the years that he cares about the people of Gingerland. And I can go further and say he cares about the whole of Nevis. But we are in Gingerland tonight. Eric was once my permanent secretary in agriculture. And with his leadership in agriculture, we would have seen a transformation of agriculture. Eric was the one who went up to Indian Castle and cut down all the cotton trees down there. The fella before him, the permanent secretary before him, went down there and planted 35 acres of cotton. And then abandoned them down there. I tell Eric, what I would do if I were you, I would send people down there to cut them down and go plant food. Plant food. We talk about food security, food sustainability in the island of Nevis, resilience in agriculture, and Eric embodied all of that because as the permanent secretary, some of the best open days were held here on the island of Nevis. Agriculture open days, that is. But you want me to give you a classic? The guy who is running against. When I became the minister responsible for disaster management, I understand he was over there somewhere in Long Point by the Disaster Management Authority or management building, sitting down in a corner. And I said to my permanent secretary then, listen, I am a hard-working man. Persons in agriculture are working hard and diligent. Persons all up and down Nevis are working for their money. So tell the gentleman to do some work. He didn't do anything. I tell my permanent secretary, listen, Eric is no longer the officer responsible for communication in the Department of Agriculture. That's what he did before he became the permanent secretary. The position was open, and he got a voice, he talk hard. So I said, well, put him to work in that area. So we put him in the communication unit at the Department of Agriculture. And the man produced one episode of On the Farm. Eric had that going so good for many years. Many years, Eric traversed the whole of Nevis, went into everybody's farm, went into everybody's backyard, and had that program running. On the Farm was a program through which we communicated with the general public here in Nevis and showed what we were doing in agriculture, promoted our farmers. Eric was doing an excellent job. So we put it in the hands of the boy there. Why name? The one that's running up here. He did one episode. I told my permanent secretary, write to that gentleman and tell him to improve his work in ethics and standard and do some work. Instead of pulling up his socks, as we say locally and colloquially, the man write a letter and resign. Resign from the position. What? And the only reason why he resigned is because he was asked to do some work. Go to work and produce. Produce something. Work for your pay. Man resigned. But look what is so interesting. Eric climbed the ladder and became the permanent secretary, of course. That gentleman resigned, and imagine he's now coming to the people of Rawlins, to the people of Gingerland. He didn't want to work in government. He didn't want to work, put out an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. But now he's coming to the people of Gingerland. Oh, I love you. I want to represent you.
What?
He said, how we could help? I think he's looking help. I think he's looking help. And that help will not come because the people of Gingerland are hard-working people. Right up here in Rawlins, persons who have worked in agriculture. Right down there in Handlins Road, you have contractors. You have all sorts of people working in various areas, working day and night to make sure they can feed their families. And nobody who is not willing to work and represent them can represent them. So the people of Gingerland will be certain come the December 12th, when the day comes to vote, they'll vote in overwhelming numbers for Eric Evelyn. Eric has been there for the last 5 years. And I want to say to you, during COVID-19, when the social development was called upon to look after the most vulnerable among us, Eric led the charge and make sure that those who were facing difficult times were given the assistance they needed. A caring man, a hard-working man, a man who loved people from the time he was born until now. He continued to look out for people. He said he got the most God children in Nevis. So everybody embrace the man. They see good principles in Eric. Good principles. When you're asked to be a godfather, it means that you are expected to perform roles that are consistent with what a father should provide. So that is why I believe Eric Rohan Evelyn is the best man here in Gingerland. And I want to say further, this cabinet will not be complete without Eric being there. We have worked together as a team in agriculture, and we have worked together as a team in government. And because of that cohesiveness and that cohesive relationship among all of us, Eric cannot be left out. So Gingerland, Rawlins, Gingerland, vote for Eric in overwhelming numbers.
I see next side, are you the try and lose? I see next side, are you the try and lose? I see next side, are you the try and lose? I see next side, are you the try and lose?
I like that because you see, NRP continue to sell false hope to the people of Nevis, to their supporters, that is. Not the whole of Nevis, because the majority of people in Nevis know who they're voting for. So if they continue to sell false hope, it's up to them. Their supporters will buy that. Because when it comes to CCM, people know fully well they're voting for the CCM party. But ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we are saying to the people of Rawlins, we are saying to the people of Nevis, this is not a time to gamble with your future. This is not a time for you to gamble with your future. Going back will not be the way forward for the island of Nevis. And when I say going back, I mean we're not going back to those dark days of NRP. You all remember the days when the NRP had all like 7 advisors in this island, paying them over $7,500 a month. That amount to what? Almost $4.6 million or more over these 6.5 years. Enough money was given away to some people who had already retired.
What?
Bring them back in culture. Bring them back as advisor in health, advisor in labor, advisor in education, advisor to the premier, advisor to the advisors. All kind of advisors up and down Nevis collecting $7,500 a month.
What?
No contradiction with that one. That's what we want to go back to. Never. Never. Those monies could be well used, or could have been well used to develop the island of Nevis, to put into social programs, programs that would have impacted our youths in a positive way. So, we're not going back there. We're not going back there. Nevis is on a trajectory right now where development will come, because we have said that when it comes to the Van Sammer International Airport, this 5 years coming up will do the necessary infrastructural development, the lengthening of the runway, resurfacing of the runway, putting in brand new lights, landing lights, that is. We'll put on at least another 1,600 feet. We should be up to about 5,600 feet of runway when it's all said and done. New hangar, parking facility. It is an overall development that will see the transformation of the island of Nevis. I say to you that that aircraft that goes into Anguilla and Dominica will be attracting it here. That is the American Eagle. It is called an Embraer 175. And we are going towards that. But not only that, 90% of the private jets that land in St. Kitts and are parked there are bound for Nevis in terms of the passengers. Is here we want them. If they leave Europe, they leave Asia, they leave America to come to Nevis, they can't be going to St. Kitts. They must come to Nevis. Because there's money to be made, there's revenue in that type of business. Revenue from fuel, revenue from parking, all of the ancillary services and amenities that are needed to support that industry will provide it. So we'll see a transformation of the Van Sammer International Airport. We'll see a transformation in the tourism sector right here on the island of Nevis. Once the infrastructure is there, people will come. The jets will come. And that is development that we'll have over the next 5 years. We're not only going to stop there, because over at Long Point, we say we're going to expand Long Point to include a cruise facility where we'll have cruise ships coming in. The interesting thing, since it's over Long Point, all the taxi operators going to make money. If they want to come into town, what are they going to do? If they want to walk, they walk. But of course, if they're going into town, then taxis will be available. I believe persons like many of you will get into the taxi business, I know in Belize and those places, when a tourist ship is in port, even lawyers close down their office and go run taxi. Such is the demand for that service. I would like to be like that here in Nevis. Because Nevis is an attractive place. We have history abound. Nevis is a destination that is sought after. And if we can get that cruise industry up and about, I believe that will be the transformation that we're looking for. When they come for a cruise, they're going to come back for a longer stay. Because once they see Nevis, I always say Nevis is as good as many and better than many. And that is why I love this island so much. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how much time I have. I ain't going to stay too long tonight. Because Eric will need to get his hour to talk to you. But not only that, I want to say to the people down in Westbury, Fountain, Mount Lily, down in camps, the work has started with that infrastructural development in terms of rebuilding that road. When you pass the bottom of Westbury Road, you see the drainage going in, right? Drainage is going in. Because we understand the volume of water that comes down Westbury Road, so we are preparing. Forward-thinking government, man. When they talk about doing things in it, some simple things, they're talking about mango. Mangoes. Listen, we don't have pulp mango long time. We're not talking mango, we're talking big things. We're talking about a new Tibet building down there in Charlestown Secondary School where we can teach our youths, young men and young women, skills and give them the certification so that they can meet the challenges of tomorrow. They can travel the whole world, see me certificate here, and get meaningful employment. Forward-thinking government, infrastructural development, training, new sixth form. Lord, Nevis is going to see some glory days. And when we say we're going to leave Nevis better than we met it, we are committed to that because we are a serious party. We are a serious team. And when we say we are a serious team, we have those qualities that were always wrapped up and embodied in Van Sammer of blessed memory, who led this party for a number of years. And if we were to do anything different that is not consistent with Van Sammer and what he would have done, I believe we would have failed. And we are not a party that fails, that will ever fail, because we have a serious leader in Mark Brantley. And I say to you tonight, when you compare Mark Brantley as the leader of this great party as against the leader of that other party, Lord of mercy, let us say chalk and cheese. But you see good and you see bad. You see decency and you see something else. But all I'm going to tell you is that Mark Brantley, as the leader of the island of Nevis, have demonstrated to me and demonstrated to this whole island that he has the hand of leadership, steady hand of leadership. We saw that during COVID-19. We are seeing it now at work. And as far as I am concerned, moving forward, you will see a leader who is going to leave a legacy of service to this island, a legacy of performance, and a legacy that will make all of us proud of this great island we call Nevis. This island we call Nevis. And when you hear me talk and I talk with this passion, I am working along beside Mark Brantley. And the passion I have is the same he has. Same thing as Eric, same thing as Spencer, same thing as Latoya, same thing as all of the candidates and all of the supporters of this great party. CCM cannot fail or Nevis will fail. So we are committed to making Nevis the best there is. But ladies and gentlemen, boy, someday I get fired up. But I want to just do my roll call tonight. Starting down at Nevis 1. Nevis 1 is Spencer Brand. Spencer Brand is coming back to the people of Charlestown. He said to the people of Charlestown, give him a chance and he would earn the rest. And I am saying to the people of Charlestown, you are going to choose Spencer Brand over what I call Rere and Rara. Some people like full of Rere and Rara. We don't want that in a no government in Nevis. No Rere and no Rara in this place. Spencer Brand is your man down there in number 1. So you come to number 2, the Premier of Nevis. I believe that the people of Nevis should understand that Mark Brantley is a hard-working man. You remember when they say he was getting toupee? A lady was on the same lady running against was on the radio saying it. Well, she don't been a collect enough pay. Because down in the veterinary clinic, checks were thrown into an office there every minute. See there, and it had on the NIA on it. None of it had on NIA. But they come now playing what they're not. But I ain't going to touch most of those things. I'm not going to deal with her anyway. Let me stick to Mark Brantley. I've been with him for many years. I've seen him at work. And I'm happy to have worked alongside him over the last couple of years. And I'm so happy to work even more diligently with him moving forward. Mark Brantley will succeed there in Nevis too, because Nevis cannot have I'm going to leave it as that. I'm going to leave it as that, only to say that Nevis will get a female premier someday, no, but not this one here. Not the one that is there. No. Maybe someday. Not now, but not that one. But anyway, Mark Brantley, you'll be fine in Nevis too. In Nevis 4, oh my goodness, this is Zuki showing number 4. Zuki showing number 4 because I've done my work over the years. I've demonstrated that I rolled up my sleeve in 2013. I said I'm ready to work. I have gone to work. I've worked in many areas over there to transform that constituency. While I was working, over the last 10 years, the lady that I'm running against was sleeping. Lord, he just wake up from a slumber. I say you're running. But anyway, the people of St. James will send a resounding message come December 12th. And down in number 5. Oh my goodness. Number 5, Latoya Branca Jones has come and he said that she is going to win that constituency this time around. Latoya have demonstrated that she's a hard worker. Latoya has demonstrated that he loved the people of St. Thomas Parish. She was born in Bansgut. She loved the people of Bansgut, the whole of St. Thomas Parish. She's a strong woman. You see the strength of a woman in Latoya. The strength of a woman. And if she's committed to the job, she says she wants to work. Well, send the woman to work. St. Thomas's Parish. Send Latoya to work. You need proper representation. Over the years, and most of the years of the past, you've had somebody in a position where you get done. You need somebody at the cabinet table to work for you, to agitate on your behalf. And Latoya said she has come prepared and ready to work. I feel good about the election down in St. Thomas Parish this time around. I feel good. Really good too. And I feel so good that on the night of December 12th, December 12th, you will hear Latoya coming out of Quaddock Road. Quaddock Road with overwhelming numbers. Going into Jessup, into Cotton Road, and when the tally is done, Latoya will be number 1. Latoya, go win the seat there. You gonna win them? But come back up to Nevis 3. The mayor of Gingerland, Eric Evelyn, has said that he is still fit and ready. He is committed to the job. He has shown you his commitment over the last 50 years plus, because he's over 50 years, yes. And he has been involved in all sorts of social groups, community groups. He has been in everything possible to make his effort felt up here in Gingerland. So he has walked down in Hanley's Road, Clay got up here in Rawlins, all over Gingerland. Lord Eric, anywhere you go, just one name you know him as, Eric. Eric. Nobody have to say Honorable Eric Evelyn. Eric. And that is as simple as it is. Eric will be victorious. As a matter of fact, his seat normally is declared first and foremost. So we'll wait for that on December 12th. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you, Nevis is on the right path. Nevis is on the road where we'll see development over the next 5 years. Let's not gamble with our future, as I've said before. Let's not turn back the hands of time here in the island of Nevis. I want to say to you that we will win all 5 seats here on the island of Nevis. 100% of the seats. We have 100% at the federal level, and we'll win 100% at the local level. You know why? CCM are the best party. The only party to represent the people of Nevis. So with those few words, ladies and gentlemen, that is my quota for tonight. I want to pray for God's blessing on this great CCM party. I want to pray for God's blessing on the entire island of Nevis. Bless its people. We are heading into some exciting times, and the Lord will be there with us to guide us and protect us. God bless us all. Have a good evening. Go to church tomorrow too. Thank you.
I'm jamming with the big blue machine. I'm rolling with the big blue machine.
CCM, tell them we gone clear. We gone clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we gone clear. We gone clear.
We gone clear. Not a soul said thing different. Rawlins, how you feeling? Somebody just tell me Rawlins cold tonight, but I think Rawlins is hot, hot, hot tonight. Concerned Citizens Movement is here and we hot. You all here, Alexis? And he said he only doing a short stint tonight. Before he came on the mic, he told me, I think I'm going to be short tonight. You know, Alexis shot is a good shot. Ladies and gentlemen, we keep telling you that there is only one choice in this upcoming election. On December 12th, we want you to go out in overwhelming numbers. Overwhelming numbers to vote for the Concerned Citizens Movement. You know, tomorrow is Sunday. So we're taking a day off from the public meetings tomorrow. We're not taking a day off from campaigning though. I want all of you, when you have an opportunity to talk to your friends and neighbors and your family, tell them that CCM is the only way to go. We cannot be complacent. Can't afford to do that. We have to ensure that we send all of our CCM candidates back to the parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, so tomorrow we are off from the public meetings, but Monday evening early, we are going to be over in the heart of Cotton Ground to support our candidate for number 5, LBJ Latoya Jones. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you come out. Make sure you come out in Cotton Ground on Monday night. We're moving right along. And you know, we're in Gingerland, and the man of the moment in Gingerland is who? When you're in Gingerland, you say Eric. Because what? You know him. You know him by his name. You don't got to say no Mr. So-and-so, and no Mr. this, and no Mr. that. Nobody got to introduce you to anybody. When Eric walk around in Gingerland, everybody knows him. You don't have to beg nobody to walk him around. And you know, I want to talk about. They tell me to take it easy. Because here in CCM, we only talk about ideas, good politics. We don't get into talking about all kind of other things. We leave that for the opposition. You know what they like to do? They like to start story. They like to start story. And then when somebody else open up their mouth to talk, they run and say, oh, people are talking about me. You know, that's what they like to do. What? They like to say people talking about them. But we're not even going to bother to do that. Because all of you know who they are. So we don't have to say anything about them. I'm not going to say anything about no rent answer tonight. Who ain't paying rent? That's their business. Not going to talk about that. We're moving right along. And we want to welcome the man for Gingerland. Your man in Gingerland. He does not need any introduction at all because he has been with you from the foundation. He has always been with Gingerland. No care what happening in Gingerland, Eric has always been a part of it. No care what happened, he is always there. And we want you to come out and vote for him in overwhelming numbers to send him back to Parliament, to send him back to government, to work on your behalf. Because you know, once Eric is there, he is not there for self. He is there to work on behalf of the people of Gingerland and the people of Nevis. So ladies and gentlemen, Rawlins, make a little bit of noise and help me to welcome your representative, the Honorable Eric Evelyn.
Tell them we gone clear. When the big blue machine touch on the scene, we gone clear. Show me your body finger. Your body finger. Show me your body finger. Say put them up in the air. Show me your body finger. Your body finger. Show me your body finger. Put them up.
I see next side. Are you the try and lose? I see next side. Are you the try and lose?
Good night, Rawlins Village. Good night, Gingerland. Good night, CCM country. I want to say good night to all of the wonderful people who are hearing my voice tonight. And I know that hundreds are hearing me. Because when I left Hanley's Road, I heard the system loud and clear in Hanley's Road tonight. And so I know all the people around Rawlins and all the surrounding areas are hearing me. And I want you to hear me because I have a message for you tonight. You've heard the message from Troy. You've heard the message from Alexis. You've heard the message from Spencer. And the message is absolutely loud and clear that there is only one party on the island of Nevis that is looking out for Nevis and the visions and residents. There has only been one party that has brought unprecedented development to the island of Nevis. And that is why your humble servant made that decision in 2017 to become a part of this great movement, the Concerned Citizens Movement. And it is indeed a great movement, ladies and gentlemen, because this Concerned Citizens Movement has transformed the island of Nevis. And when I say transform, I mean transform. And when you go through the length and breadth of this island, when you go through the length and breadth of this beautiful 36 square mile island of Nevis, we can see the transformation in practically every sector. We see it in every parish. We see it in every constituency. And ladies and gentlemen, it is undisputable. But I'm here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to thank the speakers who came before me for the fabulous endorsement they have provided for me. But I want, ladies and gentlemen, as your representative for the past 5 years, as your constituency rep, as your rep in the Nevis Island Administration, in the Nevis Island Administration Cabinet, I want, ladies and gentlemen, I come humbly before you this evening because you would have supported me in the past 3 elections overwhelmingly. And I ask for your overwhelming support one more time on the 12th of December 2022. That's in the next 9 days. And ladies and gentlemen, I am very confident, extremely confident, that once again you will repose your trust and your confidence in your humble servant. I come before you tonight and I bring my report card to tell you what just a snippet of some of the things, some of the good things that I've done since you sent me to government to represent you. Ladies and gentlemen, if I were to talk about all the things that I've done in my ministry throughout the island of Nevis, it will take several hours. And so tonight I'm going to speak a little bit about what I have done in my constituency of St. George, Gingerland. A constituency that loves me and a constituency that I love. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you my report card, and I want you, the good people of Rawlins and the good people of Gingerland, to be my judge. I want you to score my report card, and I know I am going to get an A+. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the area of education, under my watch, down at the Gingerland Secondary School, we have seen the total transformation of that school. We have seen a new wing for the principal's office. We have seen new bathrooms. We have seen new walkways. We have seen work done on the science and computer labs, on the library, under my watch. And most recently, we have seen a technical and vocational wing constructed there, costing thousands of dollars, ladies, and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we will start in Gingerland with the transformation of technical and vocational training right there at that Tibet wing at the Gingerland Secondary School. Ladies and gentlemen, anytime you pass the Gingerland Secondary School, you see an absolute transformation. There it now looks like a community college, thanks to the Honorable Troy Liburd and his team. They have done a fabulous job in transforming the Gingerland Secondary School. And every time people pass that school, they marvel. Even persons who are supporting the opposition are saying how brand new the school looks under your humble servant. And ladies and gentlemen, I've also, in my short couple of years in government and before government, I've been contributing tangibly to the Gingerland Secondary School. I have contributed financially. I've contributed school supplies. I've been a part of the school from way back when. I have been the head announcer at sports for over 23 years. Yes, you heard me right. 23 years. I have always been with the Gingerland Secondary School. I have been with the Joycelyn Liburd Primary School as well. Done donations over there. Of course, we have seen the Joycelyn Liburd Primary get a spanking lovely kitchen as well. Ladies and gentlemen, over at the preschool, We have seen transformation there as well. Because I believe a lot of us don't realize that I believe that the Gingerland preschool is the largest preschool on the island of Nevis. We have seen expansion work there over the years, and it has happened under my watch as well. And I have made contributions to the school as well. Ladies and gentlemen, in the area of culture, and we hear this over and over and over again, the spanking state-of-the-art David Freeman Center of Excellence. What an investment in culture on the island of Nevis, and specifically in St. George, Gingerland, your constituency. Ladies and gentlemen of Rawlins, we know that Rawlins has always been the heartbeat of culture. We have always been the heartbeat of all the cultural art forms in Rawlins Village. And we want to ensure that those art forms continue. And that is why the David Freeman Center of Excellence was constructed, over $1 million spent right here at the bottom of Rawlins Village. And of course we can boast, because for the first time in the history of Culturama, last year the entire virtual festival was held right there at the David Freeman Center of Excellence. And the people of Rawlins and the people of Gingerland ought to be proud. We ought to be proud, because no more will everything have to be held in the Charlestown area. We want to decentralize activities, and that is why that investment was made in Gingerland. And so now that the center was constructed, we have numerous activities taking place there. Every now and again, activities taking place there. Only last weekend I was there. The Girls and the Boys Brigade had their 75th anniversary celebration there. The Gingerland Preschool had their Christmas activity there recently, which I was the MC for. Churches are having activities. Community groups are having activities. All kind of things are happening there because your caring administration and your representative had that vision. Ladies and gentlemen, in the area of culture, we have seen a transformation here in Gingerland. We see the steel pan program bearing a lot of fruit right down there in Hannis Road at the community center. We have three groups: the primary, the secondary, and the adult group, all spearheaded by your representative, your humble servant. Ladies and gentlemen, of course I spoke about the David Freeman Center, and we want to ensure that all the art forms continue. And since I have been in government, your representative has ensured that the people who are in the art form and the people in Gingerland are in the spotlight. In 2019, I was fortunate to lead the Carifesta delegation of St. Kitts and Nevis to Trinidad and Tobago. And you know what? You know who were some of the stars at Carifesta in Trinidad? The Masquerade. The Masquerade were the stars down there. Ask about it. And it was your humble servant who ensured that the Masquerade group traveled to Trinidad. Because there were other persons who wanted other groups, and I said, no, the Masqueraders have to go. And 80% or 85% of the Masqueraders went to Trinidad and Tobago. Where are they from? Right up here in Rawlins. Right up here in Rawlins and from Gingerland. Our musicians right here in Rawlins. Recently, our masqueraders and of course our musicians, well, not the masqueraders, because the musicians went to Dubai, and it was your representative who ensured that they went to Dubai as well. The masqueraders and of course the musicians are from right here in Rawlins. Daily Ranks would have traveled to Dubai as well. And of course it was your representative who ensured that he traveled to Dubai as well. He's from Rawlins Village. Ladies and gentlemen, in the area of sports, we have been doing some work in the sporting facilities in Gingerland. And of course, I'm sure you have been hearing about the lighting project that we are currently undertaking. And I am proud to say that the lights have already been switched on down in Zion Village. And of course at the Zion playing field. And we didn't stop there. Because when I came in, I also said that I will ensure that all sporting facilities have bathroom facilities. And bathroom facilities have already been constructed in Zion. Ladies and gentlemen, right down here in hard times, we know that it's a field that is utilized very widely. And of course, your representative is ensuring that lights are coming there as well. And so the lights are already up. And very soon, the lights will be turned on down at hard times as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a lot of improvement work right there at the hard times playing field as well. Down there at the hard court at Crony, we have seen the courts being resurfaced under my watch. We've seen extensive work done at Ball Pasture under my watch. And ladies and gentlemen, we love the people of Nevis and of Gingerland to be comfortable when they are playing sports. And that is why we are ensuring that we are making the sporting facilities as comfortable as possible. And it doesn't end there, because your humble representative, your humble servant, not only ensures that we have good sporting facilities, but I also assist in sponsoring. Every time there's VPL down here at hard times, your humble servant sponsors. The Eastern Cricket Club over there, based over there in Zion, I assist in sponsoring that club as well. Ladies and gentlemen, going to community development, under my watch, we have done improvements at the Pond Hill Community Center, at the Hanley's Road Community Center, and at the Corn Mill as well. Persons who use the Pond Hill and Hanley's Road Community Centers always complained, oh Lord, the buildings are too hot. Under your humble servant's watch, we've had AC installed at those centers. Ladies and gentlemen, under your humble servant's watch, we've seen improvement in the infrastructure on the island of Nevis and in your constituency of St. George, Gingerland. We have seen road construction in several parts of the island, over in Zion, over in Webb's Ground, here in Rawlins, in Hanley's Road, in Cleggot. And they will continue, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we have seen the construction of the Interpretation Center right down here at hard times. So when you go there to vote on the 12th of December, it was your government. It was your government that built that center. Of course, in the area of water, we have seen our 500,000 gallon reservoir right up here at Stony Hill. And we are now putting up one 250,000 gallon right over there at Pond Hill as well. Your government and your representative at work. We have seen water in certain parts of Harris's Village for the first time. Your government and your representative is hard at work. Ladies and gentlemen, in the area of housing, of course, your caring government, through the Nevis Housing and Land Development Corporation, we would have purchased land in the Rice's area for persons to own their own homes. And of course, in the next dispensation, we will be looking for more land. And as I speak about housing, when we go down to the New River area, we see how wonderfully, we see how great that area is looking. We see how houses are going up. And Lord have mercy, there are some beautiful houses going up down there in the New River area. Under your representative, under your CCM administration. So ladies and gentlemen, I have worked and worked, and I haven't even touched community yet. Because I have been a part of the community of Gingerland all of my life. All of my life. Everything that happens in Gingerland, Eric Evelyn is a part of. Even though I've now become the minister I am still the chairman of Gingerama. I was with Gingerama since its inception, and I am still there, and I will always be there. And so my work can be seen throughout the communities of Gingerland. And as I said, I've been in community work ever since I was in high school. I was in 4-H. I was a part of the Nevis Youth Council. I'm the president of the Empire Sports Club for over 20 years. And so it's all about community and community building in St. George, Gingerland. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just a little snapshot of some of what I have accomplished in our beautiful constituency of St. George, Gingerland. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to go a little further. And I want to tell you, I want to tell the good people of Rawlins, the good people of Gingerland, all of the folks who are listening and viewing this meeting, that come the next dispensation, come the next 5 years, I have big plans for my constituency as well. Things will continue to happen because I know on the 12th of December you're voting for Eric Evelyn. And so, in the next term, everything got me in the first term. And so, in the next term, here are some of my plans for the next term. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gingerland Public Market that will be refurbished in the next term. Of course, when I campaigned in 2017, I spoke about the refurbishment of the Gingerland Public Market. But I am telling you, and you can take it to the bank, that it is coming in the next term. My good people of Gingerland, my good people of Rawlins, you know, it is funny because I've been told that the person who is running against me have the audacity and the gall to say that I am stealing his idea about the Gingerland Public Market.
What?
Now, if you go back to all of the tapes from 2017, that was one of the main things I campaigned on, the refurbishment of the Gingerland Public Market. Go back and check all the tapes from 2017. So I want to tell the person who is running against me that neither me nor anybody in CCM thief. The party that he represents has a PhD in thieving because they thief a whole election. A whole election they thief. And we on this side, our hands are clean. And so the Gingerland Public Market and its refurbishment, I spoke about it in 2017, and I'm speaking about it again in 2022, because it will come. Ladies and gentlemen, I know because I've spent all of my work life in agriculture, and I know what it was like at the Gingerland Public Market. My mother used to go to market there every Saturday to buy, and so we want to get that area transformed again. We realize that coming back to Gingerland, Gingerland is regaining its name as the breadbasket of Nevis, thanks to the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, and thanks to our partnership when I worked with him. And so we want, when we produce all of the great agricultural products, the provisions, the vegetables, the meat products, we want that we have an outlet right here in Gingerland as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I spoke about the David Freeman Center of Excellence. We have a second phase to do. Yes, because we have to put in seating. And we have to put in facilities where we can run programs there at the center as well. And so the second phase of the David Freeman Center will come under your CCM government. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2017 as well, I spoke about having a polyclinic right here in Gingerland. Of course, we know that we had to move the clinic up to hard times because of some issues down there. But the plan is, and we have discussed it in cabinet more than once, that we will get a polyclinic in Gingerland. The plan was one for Gingerland, one for St. James. And so these are big plans we have for St. George, Gingerland. Ladies and gentlemen, I know our officers of the police force, they work hard, and the police station there at Gingerland needs a facelift as well. So I will make the representation that our police station in Gingerland gets a facelift, a much needed facelift. The good people of Rawlins, you have been good to the CCM all the years. And you have been good to me. And I know you will continue to be good to me. And the people of Rawlins, have been asking, and they have been promised a community center ever since the Honorable Vance Amory was here. The land has been purchased, and so the land is there. And so I want to tell the good people of Rawlins that your community center will come as well. I also want to tell the people of Rawlins, and I want to tell all the people of Gingerland, that this administration has worked so tirelessly to ensure that we have good roads throughout the length and breadth of the island, in all of the villages, on all of the main roads. You see what is happening over there on the second phase of the island main road. You see what's happening over there at Butlers. You see what have happened in various parishes, in various communities. And I will ensure that the villages of Gingerland get good roads as well. And so I will represent and ensure that Rawlins get a good road as well. That Rice's and Matchman's and River Part and Maynard Ground and Cook Ground and Meats Pasture, they will get their good roads as well. Of course, in the area of housing, we will continue to ensure that we access more land so that more houses can go up in Gingerland as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, there are big plans for the community, for the constituency, but you must stick with your faithful representative, your humble servant. You must stick with Eric Evelyn in Gingerland because he has always stuck with you and he will not leave you.
Look how easy we go hammer them. Everything we do is about them. Now mix me up in the drama them.
And you know, ladies and gentlemen, now that I have given you my report card, and now that I have explained to you some of the good things that will come to Gingerland in the next dispensation of the Concerned Citizens Movement, I want you, the good people of Rawlins, and I want you, the good people of Gingerland, to make a comparison. Make a comparison between myself, your humble servant. Make a comparison between me and the other person who is coming to challenge me. Because that is important. That is important for you to make a comparison. And so, let's talk comparison. Let's talk comparison. I have spoken about all of the good things that I've done in my community in Gingerland. I have been a community-minded individual from right down there. I have been through the length and the breadth of every community. And my work is stamped in almost every community. And so let's talk about community work and community involvement. Ask the other person to name one thing. Just one thing that he has done in the community of St. George, Gingerland. Just one. Ask him to name one thing that he has contributed or sponsored in Gingerland. Just one. And if I am to stay here and chronicle all the things I've done in my community and all the things that I have sponsored, it will take me all night. Ask him to name one thing he has contributed to, anything in Gingerland. One community project that he has been involved in Gingerland. Ladies and gentlemen, we must be serious about government and we must be serious about politics. So let's make the comparison. Let's make the comparison in public life. I'm sorry, in public office, in government. Let's make the comparison. I spent 32 years in the Department and the Ministry of Agriculture. 32 long years. And I started as an extension officer. I became the communications officer. I became the communications supervisor. I was in charge of quarantine. I became the permanent secretary. And I have left a legacy at the Department and the Ministry of Agriculture. Go down there and ask anybody in agriculture what I have done in public life. Go and ask anyone what I have done, ladies and gentlemen, because my mark is left down there in agriculture. Now, I want you to ask the person on the other side, what has he done in government? Ladies and gentlemen, ask him about what he did at the St. Thomas's Primary School. Tell him to bring you his record. Why did they have to move him from the St. Thomas's Primary School? Ladies and gentlemen, he went to disaster preparedness. Ask him to give you his record there. He went to the Department of Agriculture. Ask him to give you his record there. It is important, ladies and gentlemen, when you are going up for public office, that you have a good record and you can run on your record. I am running on my record, ladies and gentlemen, and my record is undisputable. My record is clean, ladies and gentlemen. Ask about the record and ask about the record of the other person, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, of course, when we're talking about working in public office, Alexis was here, and Alexis spoke about the work that I did on the farm and the work that I've done in the Department of Agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I had that program going. When he went there, asked him what he did. When I had the television program in agriculture, asked the people of agriculture what I did. Asked him what he did. I remember when he was in charge of communications in agriculture, one March, it was March, I was looking at the television and I saw a program. And the program was a repeat from December of the previous year. That never happened under me. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was at agriculture, even when I became the permanent secretary, I was on the job first every morning. Ask anybody who worked in agriculture, even when I became PS at 7:30, I was on the job every morning. Ask him when he worked at agriculture, what time he showed up on the job. Because person saw him in town 9:30 and 10 o'clock every morning catching bus to agriculture. And you must have a good record when you're working as a civil servant if you want to run for politics. Ladies and gentlemen, you must have a good record. I remember in 2018, Alexis spoke about the open day. And that is one of my hallmarks, because I am the one who was responsible partly for ensuring that we have such a magnificent show on an annual basis. A magnificent show. And ladies and gentlemen, I remember I resigned in 2017. I went into politics in 2017. And in 2018, the Agriculture Open Day, I left my office and I walked up to the villa. And when I got to the villa, I went there to probably spend about an hour. And I had to spend practically the rest of the day there at the villa. When I got to the villa, numerous persons in the Department of Agriculture say, oh, thank God you're here. Thank God you reached, Eric. And I was wondering, why are they saying, thank God I'm here? They say, Eric, we want you on the mic. I said, well, don't you all have a communications officer? They say, well, we can't find him. We can't find him.
What?
And so I, as the Minister of Government, had to go there to the villa and promote everything was happening on the grounds. I took the mic and I took over the open day in 2018. could recall vividly, I had to go and take over the food preparation demonstrations. I had to go to all the stalls to promote them on the mic. I had to promote all what was happening and all the sales at the abattoir division. Your humble servant. And they had a communications officer who they couldn't find.
What?
They couldn't find on the biggest day on the calendar of the agriculture department, the open day. So make the comparison, ladies and gentlemen. Make the comparison. As I said, I've been the president of the Empire Sports Club for over 20 years. I've been in charge of Gingerama. And thank God it has all been success. Ask him what happened when he took over the presidency of the Football Association. Now, are these the kind of persons you want in government? Are these the kind of persons you want to run government on the island of Nevis? Ladies and gentlemen, make the comparison. Make the comparison, ladies and gentlemen. You want someone you can trust. You want someone you can identify with. You want someone who you know. And you know me. You can trust me. I am real. I am not fake. I came to politics because the people of Gingerland called on me to come to politics. I love to work. And sometimes I prefer to work in the background. But the people of Gingerland called me. You know why? Because they could identify with me. Because they know me. And that is why they on the opposite side were calling me long before CCM called me as well. And I said no. Because they know of my mettle. They know what I do in the community. They know how I work with people. And that is why after I was called by the people, I came to politics. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you know me. You know me. I have been with you. Whatever happens in Gingerland, I am there. When you go to ball pasture for sports, who you see? Who you hear? Eric. When you go to any church activity in Gingerland, who you see? Who you hear? Eric. When you go to any social functions in Gingerland, who you see? Who you hear? Eric. Anything the schools having, who you see? Who you hear? Eric. Now, come on, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. There is no comparison. And that is why, come the 12th of December, there is only one choice. There is only one option. And that is your humble servant. I've always been there. I have always been there. And I will always stick with the people of Rawlins and the good people of Gingerland. And you can always continue to put your trust and your confidence in your humble servant. So, ladies and gentlemen, look at my track record in government, in the public service, in the community. Look at what I have delivered. Look at what your party has delivered. Look at the plans we have for you. And as I said, most importantly, make the comparison. Make the comparison. I am real. And wherever you turn in Gingerland, Eric is there. I remember when I ran for the federal election in 2020, the person who ran against me, he was going to every church, every Sunday, every Saturday, every funeral. And what happened? After he don't get the licks, nobody see him again in church. Nobody see him again.
What?
Yes, it's a fact. Because the people of Gingerland know the difference between real and fake. I am real. I am real. I am a part of you, Gingerland. I'm a part of you, Rawlins. Wherever you go, you see me. Wherever you go, you can feel me. Wherever you go, you can touch me. And wherever you go, you can see my work in the community of Gingerland. And that is why I'm asking you, ladies and gentlemen, to put your trust and your confidence in me on the 12th of December. And I have all confidence that you will do that. You will do the right thing. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want, come the 12th of December, that you not only support me overwhelmingly, that you support all. And when I say all, I mean all five. All 5 of the CCM candidates. Down in Nevis 1 in St. Paul's. We have heard and we have seen of the excellent work that the Honorable Spencer Brand has done there. His work speaks for him, the only brand in town. And so we expect to roll out of St. Paul's with Brand in the CCM column with a win. Of course, going up to number 2, the Sheriff Country. Up to number 2, the Sheriff, the Honorable Dr. Mark A.G. Brantley. Fantastic leader, phenomenal leader, one of the best in the region. And we know the good people of St. John's, Nevis too, will stay with Mark A.G. Brantley. Going over to Nevis 4. Irrespective of what you say about Alexis. Hard-working minister, always on the ground. You see his DNA all over St. James. And we know it will be Zook for sure in number 4. And over in number 5, over in St. Thomas's Parish, we know that the heat is on over there. The heat is on in St. Thomas's. And when the dust settles, it will be Latoya Bianca Jones with the win for the CCM in Constituency 5. And right here in St. George, Gingerland, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. I want you to go out in your numbers as you always do. And let us send him back to Barnscott. As Mark like to say, he Kinnicat come, we're going to Kinnicat him back over there. Because up here is only one and only choice. Your one and only choice is your humble servant, Eric Evelyn, in number 3. And so I'm asking you on the 12th of December to go out in your numbers. Take your family, take your friends, take your mother, take your father, take your sister, take your brother, take your cousin, take everybody and vote for the hammer. Vote for Eric Evelyn. Of course, most of you in this area will be voting right down there in the new building. That new building that was constructed under your CCM government. All right? So please go out early. Make sure it's all 5. All 5 for CCM. We will paint Nevis blue. It's all blue. All CCM come the 12th of December. Send us back to work for you. Send us to continue the fantastic work we have started. And we will ensure that Nevis continues on this trajectory. We will continue to progress like no other island in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to me. And remember on election day, you vote overwhelmingly for the hammer. Your humble servant, your representative, your real representative, who you know and you see all the time, Eric Evelyn. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you on election day. Thank you and God bless.
Your voting finger, show me your voting finger. Put them out, show me your voting finger. Your voting finger, show me your voting finger.
Thank you, Eric. Gingerland Rawlins, that's your candidate. That's your representative. A hard-working man. A man who is always on the go. You know what? Not a soul ever accused Eric of being lazy. Eric and laziness don't go together. So imagine how them people on the other side go and find somebody from St. Thomas's, from Barnscott, that St. Thomas's don't want. Guess why? Because they know him over there. They know him over there. Imagine they want to set him up here in Gingerland and Gingerland people because they believe Gingerland people don't know who he is. You know, but you have Eric Evelyn, and Eric Evelyn is a hard worker. He's always there, and not a soul ever accused Eric of being lazy. anything that Eric is involved in, it is successful. Everything that he does it well because he go out and he work hard and he ensure that he get it done. He don't sit down and lazy and fail halfway and then come and talk and say, oh, it's somebody else's fault. You understand? So when I hear them come with the deep voice and they say that they have come to represent, what they come to represent, what have they ever done? What have they ever been successful at? They move from one place to the next place to the next place. And it's not no upward movement. It's movement because of what? Oh. And then they want to come over to good Gingerland, who are accustomed to good representation. At about here. Let them, you know what? Tell them go back where they come from. The Kinney Cat come over here on the 12th of December. Kinney Cat them back to where they're coming from with their forwardness. You understand? Ladies and gentlemen, the Concerned Citizens Movement, we will be off tomorrow, Sunday. No public meeting tomorrow, Sunday. But come Monday night, we are headed over to Cotton Ground. And we want you to come out and support your Concerned Citizens Movement Party as we go over to Cotton Ground to rally with our newest candidate, Latoya Bianca Jones, over in St. Thomas's. You see, as we talk about that, they wanted to be the candidate in St. Thomas's, you know. They tired beg. They beg all kind of people. They beg CCM. When CCM said no, they went and they beg NRP. And then, you know, when that wasn't working out, they tried to form their own party. Imagine that. And he rhyme and all.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving right along. Because, you know, we don't want to keep you all night. And the DJ is already queuing up. You know, we have one more speaker to go. And this speaker needs no introduction anywhere in Nevis. The best leader, pound for pound, anywhere, bar none.
My name is Mark.
I don't have to worry about me. I'm talking.
Citizens Movement. Even more importantly, I am the proud representative of the people of St. John's, Nevis 2. In this upcoming election, we are running on our record. The people of St. John's have been exceedingly kind to me over the years. You have elected me time and time again, and I'm asking you to continue to repose your trust and confidence in me. You know in me you have a leader that you can trust, and in the CCM you have leadership that you can be sure of. We have done remarkably well on the island of Nevis, whether it was the way we handled COVID or the way we have continued to develop this island. We're asking you not to gamble with the future of our island. Continue to stick with us because in us you have leadership that you can be sure of. You have leadership that you can trust.
Let me tell you, Rawlins and Gingerland, if the NRP could not find a candidate in the whole of Gingerland to run for them, they don't deserve a single vote in this constituency. You think St. John's people, you could just Kinney Cat and reach down there and talk about your candidate? No connection with St. John's? No, not more St. John's? You think you could just take up yourself from races or from up here in Rawlins and Henley Park and say you're going to run over a brick hill? St. James people going to run you? And you must run them from up here. You know the thing that bother me, you know? You got some people from Gingerland, them on radio every night to make noise. You got a short one from down here. Me and all of feel sorry here because all he do talk about me, mark. Then you got one with some fixodent, I know a fixodent be, that to keep your teeth in your mouth. He from over there. Mark. Them got a solution for every problem in Nevis. But when the NRP asks
for a candidate, not one of them put up their hand.
What?
I think it's easy to get. I think it's easy to take in politics. Eh? The kind of blows that Eric gonna get his boy, not even Benge, gonna be able to help him. And that is why, Eric, I'm telling you, don't waste no time when you come telling people what you do, tell them what you plan to do, and say, Rawlins, thank you for your support. Good night and God bless you. Because you don't, let me tell you something, there's a saying, let the dead bury the dead. Leave them there to one side, because let me tell you, there has been nothing they have ever tried in their life that has worked out. In fact, the only thing they've succeeded at is failure. That's the only success they've had in this life. And I like the fact that Troy pointed out. Let me tell you all something. When we won these 3 seats in 2020 and created history, we had a motorcade and we ended up at Caribbean Cove. You all remember? When I reached Caribbean Cove, my phone going off, I see all kind of message. I check. I say, well, who the message are from? Man sent message to me. Me, the leader of CCM, say he don't talk to his family and he ready. Me say, ready for what? Ready for what? People have been speaking to him and he ready to run for CCM in St. Thomas's.
What?
Yes. Then when I said, no, not CCM. CCM like people who like to go to work. CCM like hard-working people. And I believe that when you come to politics, you shouldn't come with no baggage which say you're allergic to paying bills. Because big people pay the bills. So we say, no, next thing here, them a farm party. Them even had the color, you know the color was purple. The purple party, them must be Barney. I remember Barney, the cartoon character. The purple party, they were coming to form a party, the purple party. And when they were coming to form the purple party, he was going to run in St. Thomas's and another one was going to run in St. James. The man from Sinkit called them. Tell them they're going to hurt and happy if they do that. And he said, I will pay you all not to do that. And all of a sudden, the purple party done. Next thing me hear, the man Kitty Cat reach a Gingerland. Mind, to come from Barnscott, you got to jump over Tongue. You got to jump over St. John's to finally reach Gingerland. That's what happened, you know? Kitty Cat, Somersault, and reach Gingerland. Well, Gingerland people, are you less than anybody? Are you less than anybody? Reach Gingerland. I have said over and over that these individuals have come to politics for the wrong reasons. They have come for the wrong reasons. Because NRP was not his first choice. NRP was his last resort. It's when everything else failed, he reached NRP. And I am saying to the people of Gingerland, you want representation that is serious? You want representation that you know? You want representation that you have seen? I am so proud tonight to hear my good cousin Eric Evelyn talk about the fact that long before he came to politics, he was representing people. When he talked about Empire Sports Club, Gingerama, he's the most popular man in Nevis among seniors. Eric Evelyn has served with distinction. So when he came with a record. All those years he spent in agriculture. What the program was called, Eric? Iron Agriculture. On the farm, iron agriculture. And he liked to speak. You know, this is Eric Evelyn. I saw him here. When I see him in Glasgow, Scotland, representing us at the COP conference that they held in Glasgow, I said, well, look at this Henley Park man, this Gingerland man. On the same stage with President Biden and Mia Motley and all the presidents and prime ministers. Our Eric Evelyn went there. You know why he was able to do so? Because he has spent a life of service. And when you have spent a life of service to others, politics is a natural step. Natural step because people know you, because you have been with them all these years. That is why I'm happy when you ask the question, what has the opponent done? What is the record? I mean, there's a calypso that sings, he says, show me your trophy. What you got to show? You just show up and tell people to elect you. You know how serious it is to knock on a man's door, to knock on a woman's door and tell them, give you that opportunity for you to represent them. You're asking them to allow you to make decisions and frame policy that will impact their lives. And then you see these people just appear. Look at all of them just appear out of nowhere. I see one of them say running against the good fellow Spencer Brand. Clean as a whistle. A good Hebrew boy. Only Brandon Town. And when asked for accomplishments, the girl says she don't participate in Culturama. When me can dance and me and go long jam. What? That's an accomplishment? That you walk up in the band? I am saying to us, listen, politics is serious business. And when people are chat foolishness to are you telling them a chat stupidness? Because walking up in a band for Culturama is not an accomplishment. And yet, these are the things that they're pointing to when people say, what have you done? What has been your involvement in the community? One of them down there running against me. Wait until she's 63. No, she's not 63 yet. Only be close. 61. 61 and 63, what the difference? If you play cricket and you make 61, you make 63, you make 60. But wait until then. Retired and then come back, say she looks second career. And the second career is in politics. That's how this thing goes. People are asking you, what have you done? Where is the demonstrated love for people? You can't wait till you're 61 and say you now discover that Nevis got poor people. Nevis got poor people all the time. What have you been doing to work with people, to assist people? What has been your involvement in the community? And let me tell you, I don't care what they say about me. Because long before politics, my son sponsor everything in St. John's. Everything in Brownhill. Me sponsor cricket in Brownhill and me so vexed. Me spend my money. And the first match, umpire get the man out and the man knock down the stump. When he knock down the stump, whole team get banned for the rest of the season. Money gone. But I am saying that when you're involved in the community, man, you sponsor people, you sponsor events, you're involved. Suddenly, if you are 61 years old and you've never been involved in anything, people got every right to ask you where you come from. You walked through Brownhill the other day, call out to a lady. The lady said, well, who you be? He said, what do you mean, who me be? I'm just saying hello. The lady said, well, 40 years me live here. You never say hello to me yet. 40 years. But she reached now to say that this is now what she wants to do. She loves people. Suddenly, you have discovered that you love people. Then we jump over there to number 4, where we know that Alexis is sure. And we see a woman over there that calls she Rip Van Winkle. Because she come back here 20 years ago and nobody ever seen or heard her until Kinney Catton become leader of NRP. Let me tell you something. I want to know sometimes what goes on in the minds of the Nevis Reformation Party. The guy looked to me like anybody who could come once they got a checkbook become leader. Because I'm asking, how did this woman become the leader of NRP? Because nobody knows her. And then I hear, it's Cleon that didn't want. So them not vote for she, no, they vote against Cleon. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying it's a recipe for confusion. Rip Van Winkle went up in the mountain, dropped sleep, and sleep for 20 years. And I said, this is an interesting story. Because the same is true. Because the leader of the NRP, nobody heard of her for 20 years. And so the same thing that Eric is saying about his competition tonight, I am asking, show me the record. Show me what you have done. Show me one little boy or girl you sponsored, gave a little scholarship. One school you sponsored. One church group you sponsored. Show me how you were involved in the community of St. James. And the answer is, they were never involved. The only time now they've realized them like people is because they're begging a vote. And I'm saying that our people must reject that. Those are not serious people who are coming to politics for the right reasons. And as for Cleon there in St. Thomas is frightened. All what she did tonight, she frightened. And why is she frightened? Because CCM says every seat in Nevis we will contend. Every seat in Nevis we will contest. Every seat in Nevis we will conquer. We will fight for every seat because every person in Nevis deserves proper representation. So we tell them plain, the days of taking St. Thomas's for granted are over. Those days are over. And we have turned St. Thomas's into a battleground because as I walk over there, I was in Barnescott today. And as I talk to people, there's one song, one sankey, one hymn, one gospel, one complete stanza that they're singing over there in St. Thomas's. And you know what it is? All the way with LBJ. The other thing sounds so good, me can't even shout it. All the way with LBJ. People in St. Thomas's are looking for good representation. The people of St. Thomas's want to have a person in cabinet, sitting down in cabinet, negotiating for them, agitating for them. And that is why we have brought someone. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the great hills of Rawlins tonight. Rawlins has always been good to the concerned citizens movement. Since the Honorable Vance Emery of blessed memory came, Rawlins has never abandoned CCM. And when Vance left politics, we brought a young man from just down the road, we call it Henley Part. And he is the right man for the right time for the people of Nevis. I feel so proud of Eric Evelyn. When we went to St. Kitts, you know, Eric, Alexis, and I were under a lot of pressure over there. There were people over there who thought that they could divide us because they like to divide and conquer. And every Monday morning we went and we had coffee together. Eric said he paid attention to his weight, so he used to have bush tea. But Zook and I like to eat, so we had bacon and sausage and all kind of things. Zook eat more than me. But we sat there because we were resolved that the Nevis people sent us to St. Kitts and gave us all three, and we will represent them to the best of our ability. And I remain proud to this day that when the time came, we stood strong, we stood together, and we said, listen, nobody gonna take no forwardness with the people of Nevis. That's what we did. Some other people might have been focused on themselves. Eric Evelyn and Alexis Jeffers were only in St. Kitts for less than 2 years. They could have said to me, Mark, you down the long time. We want with pension. We want with salary. We need to focus on ourselves. Both of them said the same thing. We stand with the people of Nevis. And when you stand on principle, when you stand with the people who elected you, then if you perish, then you perish. But you perish knowing that you perish for doing the right thing. And while this is not the time nor the forum, and Troy reminded us tonight, we must not talk about certain things. I was in St. for the remarkable teens with the same Eric Evelyn. Alexis could not make it. Latoya Jones could not make it, and so we were there, and we represented and presented to 6 remarkable youngsters from Nevis. And when I'm there, I'm sitting here as leader of the opposition. There's a seat over there. I look across, me not see nobody. And I was on my phone, and when I look up, I see Timothy. Timothy tiptoe and come in and sit down, quiet like a church mouse. And then when he represents, and he presents the one person they give him to present, he is out the back and he gone. And I said, when you see the people entrust you with the awesome responsibility of representing them, remain humble. Remain humble, because it can be gone in the blink of an eye. And so you're gone from king to pauper, from top dog to chihuahua. And I said, that is what happens when you decide that you will seek to take advantage of the people of Nevis and the island of Nevis. Because you see the CCM, we strong like a lion. And we not take foolishness from nobody. We will negotiate. We will talk. We will seek to do the best that we can. But when we realize that you're not prepared to do right by the people of Nevis, then no salary, no pension, no perks, no benefits can stop us from representing our people. That is why I have such respect for the Honorable Eric Evelyn and the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. Because when push came to shove, they showed that they stood firm with the people of Nevis. That means everything to me, because it has not always been so. There have been some, when push came to shove, forgot the people of Nevis. But Eric and Zook stood with me, and I stood with them. And together, all 3, clean. I like to call us the Hebrew boys, clean as a whistle. Them no got a thing on us. We are like Teflon. You know what Teflon is? When you got your non-stick frying pan and the egg slide, Teflon, not a thing could stick to it. Some of them are Velcro. Everything stick to them because them sticky. We not sticky, we smooth and clean. And that is the thing, you know. You look around you, other contests are happening all around the world, and you hear about corruption, and not a word has been said about the system. We run a tight ship. I want to thank the Honorable Vance Emery, because he said to us when we got in government in 2013 that he will not stand for no hanky-panky. He said, CCM don't engage in foolishness. And through the grace of God, that was handed down. And when I became leader, I said to the guys, Vance said no hanky-panky, same thing with me, you know? No hanky-panky. And as a consequence of that, for 5 years, we have battled, and we can say, stand up all of us together before God and man. Our hands are clean. And not too many can say that. That is why I said to the team, when they come and they start to attack us, we not got to answer them, because the people of Nevis know them already. We know them already. So we need not respond to them. Let them go negative. Let them wallow in the dirt if they will. Because as Latoya Bianca Jones reminded us, cussing never create one job yet. Cussing never fix one road yet. Cussing never send one child to school yet. And cussing can't give you a roof over your head. We are about ideas. And we have some big ideas. Whether it is renewable energy, whether it is that South Coast Road, I talk about it all the time. I am passionate about it because if we can build that highway from Long Point all the way around to Hickman's, we open up thousands of acres along the south coast of Nevis for development. That to me is the equivalent of the Southeast Peninsula Road in St. Kitts. Open up a whole new area of the island for development, and we are committed to doing that. The young people have said they want a proper community college, separate from the sixth form. They want to move away from the CSS. And I understand because when you don't graduate from high school, you feel like an adult. And we're sending you back to the same compound with the high schoolers. And so we say we'll separate that. And I want to thank Troy Liebert because he has been championing that we have to do it. And it will be done. We look at our airport. We have asked Alexis Jeffers. Alexis, take charge of that project for us. Because we have to expand the airport, expand the runway, ensure that we have jet fuel available, build a hangar, and improve what we do there so that the private jets can come and the regional carriers can come, and American Airlines using their regional jets can come, just as they're now going to Anguilla and going to Tortola. They will come to Nevis. We have said that at Long Point, we will develop a cruise facility. We will also expand the port to ensure that we can handle more cargo and that Nevis could once again become a transshipment point for some of the smaller islands. We have big plans in going around and meeting our people in the constituencies. A young mother said to me that she has 2 children in daycare. She has to put them in daycare because she has to go to work. And in daycare, she says she's spending $800 a month for daycare. Now, Lord, when I think about it, I said, but if you are not making a lot of money, if you're making $1,800, $2,000 a month, and you have to pay $800 in daycare, you see how hard things will be for you. And she said, why does the government not open a government-run daycare center to help? And I said, it's a good idea. Because as a government, we like to listen. We like to listen to our people, and when we listen, we then act and are making a commitment to mothers all across this island that once they fall into a particular income bracket, we will provide some relief by way of daycare. We can't build the kind of Nevis we want to build unless we're looking out for those who are most vulnerable. That has always been our position. And so, ladies and gentlemen, my job tonight is really an easy one. We have had an excellent record in government despite the challenges of COVID-19. If your electricity bill is now less than it used to be, we listened, we acted, and we removed the fuel surcharge from domestic households. We left it on the businesses, but we capped it at 65 cents to give them some relief as well, a government that cares. When you look at what we're doing in healthcare, all of us know that when you needed a CT scan, you had to go to St. Kitts. And if the one in St. Kitts wasn't working, some people had to go as far as Antigua or St. Martin. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight under the CCM, never again will the people of Nevis have to travel, because we now have a state-of-the-art CT scan at the Alexandra Hospital. Now imagine your premier went to a hospital to see the CT scan to say me going to take a picture. They're going to ask me want to go in. What me going for? But suppose when me go in, they tell me they see something and me can't be there for the 12th of December to win the election for the Concerned Citizens Movement. I tell them no, I'm going to come back after the 12th and I'm going to put me in. But not before. Brand new CT scan when I saw the equipment. You could have been in any hospital anywhere in the world. First class, brand new machine. 128 slice, only the second one in the entire OECS. That means we got what Antigua no got. We got what Montserrat no got. We got what St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and St. Kitts no got. The only country I'm told that has it is Grenada. Nevis, a piece of equipment that costs over $1 million US is now available for you. A government that cares. We're building the hospital. The hospital is 2.5 times the size of Alexandria. And all kind of noise they're making, oh, the hospital taking long. Well, they think we're building a full cube. They think we're building a full cube. We're building a proper facility, the largest investment in healthcare in the history of the island of Nevis. And when it is done, it will take us forward for another 40 years at least. We built the Mondo truck. You all remember the set of noise? Oh, it's too close to the dump. You can't get not know where they can fly them from the dump come bother you. And look, because of that Mondo truck, I was so proud to see the Charlestown Primary School go to St. Kitts and compete in the first ever Rams Inter-Primary Relay Championship and emerge, what? Number 1. Champions of the Federation. In fact, all the schools in Nevis, I believe there were 4 that participated, finished in the top 10. And what I want you to consider, Rawlins, is that those children prior to that investment would be running on grass. They would be running on dirt at the ETW park. And then we would ask them to go to St. Kitts to run on a proper surface to compete over there with their peers who are accustomed to running on that surface. And we said, no, the young people in Nevis are no less than. And we will invest in them. Well, I go over there all the time, me never see no fly. Me never smell no dump. And what we have been able to achieve is something special for the people of Nevis. That's what you do when you are committed to serving people. Eric mentioned, the Honorable Eric Evelyn mentioned, the David Freeman Center of Excellence. It is a fantastic addition to Gingerland. There was a time, because even though he liked to boast up himself and talk about how he's from Gingerland, I'm from Gingerland too. He come from Henley Park, me come from Henley Park too. Matter of fact, I come from closer to Rawlins than he. Because he come from way down Henley Park, and I come from a beautiful place called Scarborough. Scarborough. So if I start to walk from Scarborough, me gonna reach Rawlins before he. But we are both from Gingerland. And when I came and I saw that David Freeman Center, and I saw his vision manifest itself, because there was a time, let us remember, when Market Shop was the epicenter of life in Gingerland. Everybody went to Market Shop. I should know, because as a boy, I used to walk from Scarborough, 5 o'clock in the morning up to the water tank in Market Shop. I know what they call gallon pan. Gallon pan of water can be able to carry the big bucket. And you have 1 gallon pan and you're going home because you walk up the road, you catch your water. You walk back down, you wash your skin. You walk back up to go to school. You walk back down to go home. No wonder them days you couldn't be fat. But I am saying that that was the epicenter of life in Gingerland. And we have said, listen, David Freeman Center, public market, redeveloping that area to ensure that once again, we bring that activity back to Gingerland. Ensure that the people of Gingerland don't have to go to town if they don't want to go to town. And when he celebrated Culture Arm up here. He had a lot of things to go on with in the cabinet, you know. He had a lot of things to go on with, because if I know him, anything to do with Gingerland, he's very boasty. So he said, we had Culture Armor in Gingerland. We moved Culture Armor from town. And Spencer wasn't happy, because Spencer is the representative for town. But it was such a wonderful thing. And I remember talking to people who came over from St. Kitts and were there. They can't believe that we have a venue such as that outside our main venue. Because our brothers and sisters in St. Kitts up to now don't have a venue for carnival, you know. There is no designated venue like how we have up here. And that is why I feel so proud to see the investment that we would have made. I am here tonight and I'm looking at all the bright lights shining on me. And I said to myself, when last current went off in Nevis, you know why I feel so good that I could ask that question? It's because this government invested not in one, but in 2 Wärtsilä engines, brand new. And the result of that is that we have been able now to offer more reliable supply of electricity. Water and water development, well, right here in Gingerland. You know that you provide a lot of the water that we use in Nevis. The tanks are here. You see the brand new tanks. You see the improvement. So when people tell you nothing happening, you walk by it every day. And these are the things that are important. The things that are big decisions, big policy decisions that impact people positively. And I feel so proud, ladies and gentlemen, to be the leader of this team, because it is an excellent team. This year make me feel like when West Indies cricket was West Indies cricket. And they used to say you had, most times when you have pace attack, they say if you see off the new ball, you're good. But them say when the 2 opening bowlers for West Indies gone off the ball, the 2 who come in faster than them. So it's pressure, pressure, and more pressure. That's the kind of team that we have. We have an excellent team. When I travel and the Honorable Alexis Jeffers is acting premier, I don't have nothing to worry about. If he and I have traveled and the Honorable Eric Evelyn is acting premier, we don't have anything to worry about. If Spencer Brand is acting premier, we don't have anything to worry about. And when the time comes and Latoya Jones is acting premier, we won't have a thing to worry about. Because we are people whom you know, people whom you have seen, people who are not allergic to hard work, people who have performed before we came to politics and have performed in politics. And we will continue with your help to perform. And so I don't want to chastise Eric and stop up here longer than Eric. I want to encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, here in Rawlins and in all of Gingerland. He said on his way here, he heard us down in Anley's Road. So wherever you are, Stony Hill, Rawlins, Zetlands, wherever you are, Hanley's Road, I want you on the 12th of December, that day that the Lord would have made, to go out in your numbers and vote overwhelmingly for the Concerned Citizens Movement. And you here in Gingerland, Nevis 3, when you're done by 10:30, I want you to come down to St. John's. I want you to go over to St. Thomas's. I want you to go to St. Paul's. I want you to go to St. James and spread out all over Nevis and ensure that on the 12th of December, all 5 seats will be in the CCM column. We are going to make history. I can feel it in my bones that all 5 seats, number 1, St. Paul's, number 2, St. John's, number in the CCM column. That is why I'm asking you to go out and do not gamble. Do not gamble with the future of Nevis. Let us, ladies and gentlemen, do the right thing. In Gingerland, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. In St. James, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. In Charlestown, I am not worried. I'm not concerned. In St. John's, I am not worried. I'm not concerned. And in St. Thomas's, for the first time, the Concerned Citizens Movement will win number 5 St. Thomas's and bring St. Thomas's into the fold. And so, Rawlins, you know what my signature is as I leave the stage wherever I go. I see a nice crowd here tonight, a lot of cars park up, people sitting in the cars, people out here who got whistle, who got bell, who got all kind of bugle. Let me ask you, CCM people, are you ready? Well, if you're ready, I want you to wake up, Rawlins. Wake up the place. Let me hear you make some noise. On Monday morning, we have nomination day. The 5th of December, that is tomorrow, Monday. And I want all of you to come down to Caribbean Cove for 9 o'clock because the team is going to assemble there. And we are going to go in a motorcade to nominate 5 candidates for the Concerned Citizens Movement. Eric said he wanted to be nominated first. So they tell me we got to come Gingerland first. And when we come Gingerland, it means from there, where are we going? St. James. And from there, where are we going? St. Thomas's. And from there, where are we going? St. Paul's. And then where are we going to end? St. John's Sheriff Country. We will nominate 5 hard-working, decent professionals to represent you. I like to say that we are old enough to know, but still young enough to do. You see up here? The beard might be gray now, but I'm full of vim, vigor, and vitality. I got energy. I'm going to drink no Red Bull tonight. I am saying to you that we have the best team to take the island of Nevis forward. And so tomorrow, CCM, join us if you can. Motorcade with us. And let us go and let the island of Nevis feel the full weight of the Concerned Citizens Movement. That's my quarter, Rawlins. Thank you for having us. Get home safely. God bless you. Good night and see you on nomination day on Monday.
Machine, we hold it up.